The Cleveland Cavaliers will have a few areas of need to address this offseason. This team needs a big wing in the worst way, preferably of the 3-and-D archetype. And while they aren't necessarily in lottery territory, they should still be able to walk away from the draft with a potential difference maker even though they are selecting 20th overall. With that being the case, one of the prospects that could possibly be available in that spot is none other than California Forward Jaylon Tyson. Offensively speaking, Tyson could be exactly what the wing star of Cavaliers need due to his positional and offensive versatility. He is coming off of a huge junior season, putting up over 19.6 points per game to go along with nearly 7 boards. This has placed him firmly within the NBA draft conversation. The former California Golden Bear isn't a high-level floor spacer compared to some of his potential draft day peers, but he is clearly comfortable taking that shot. He would finish his junior season with a 3-point percentage of 36%. Down from his sophomore year in which he converted over 40.2% of his triples, but he did increase his volume, going from 3.5 to 4.5 attempts, and with it the makes did as well, going from 1.4 to 1.6 per game. His 50 triples ranked 19th in the Pac-12 this season. He can knock down shots off the dribble,
get him on rolls or get him on post up.
Tyson for 3.
And as a spot-up shooter.
Tyson for 3.
Might have just shut it down this year. He's sat out some games, but he keeps coming back and having an impact.
He operated as his team's point guard at the collegiate level, which led to a high usage rate. In fact, he finished the 2023-24 season as the Pac-12's leader in usage percentage at 30.1%. It's safe to say that he is very comfortable running an offense, but that only adds to the potential positional versatility that he could add to a team. That said, for the time being, the Cavaliers already roster 2 very ball-dominant guards, and that of Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, each of which tend to operate best with the ball in their hands. This will likely require Tyson to man an off-ball role, something that he could no doubt excel at due to his capability as a spot-up shooter. But this is only a portion of his game. He plays with a downhill style, often using his size to his advantage, and as a result, he is able to will himself past smaller players with relative ease due to a mixture of hesitations, bully moves, half spins, and even a killer crossover.
Gets us off the schneid, gets our confidence back.
Tyson to push it back.
For as solid as Tyson is on the outside, he is perhaps even better on the inside, where he showcased a high level of skill as a post scorer. He has the requisite size and strength to back his primary defender down, only to then throw up one of his go-tos. The first is the lefty hook shot that is very, very hard to stop.
Tyson gets to the left hand.
The other is a right-handed turnaround jumper, which is equally frustrating to deal with due to his ability to shoot over the top of his defender.
Let him get started. Tyson spins, will jump up with the right hand.
His ambidexterity doesn't necessarily stop there either. Tyson has displayed a similar amount of touch when driving towards the rim, where he can finish with either hand. He completed 172 of his 338 total close twos this year, which is good for 50.9%. One thing is for certain, this is a man who plays with an attacking mindset. Despite not having the quickest first step or burst to turn the corner, he often wills himself to the basket at your expense off of controlled drives. The former Golden Bear is an equally adept mid-range threat as well, where he can pull up over his defender. This versatility, this ability to play inside out is what led to him being the Pac-12's 3rd leading scorer this past season. Tyson is by no means a one-trick pony though. As previously mentioned, he operated as California's point guard during the 2023-24 season after transferring from Texas Tech. He is a very effective and willing passer who won't necessarily wow you with a ton of flashy passes, but you can see the high level of basketball IQ he possesses when watching him run the offense and move the ball. He puts just the right amount of oomph into passes while displaying a good amount of dexterity off the dribble. He has a good sense of situational awareness and has the necessary patience to wait on plays to develop, although he can force the issue or try to make something out of nothing at times. The big guard is fully capable of initiating the pick and roll, where he finds his guys off of lob passes, driving kicks, pocket passes, or dump offs right under the basket, something that we have actually come to admire about current Cavalier Caris LeVert's game. Tyson's 3.5 assists per game were 9th most in the conference, and his 23.6 assist percentage ranked 6th. He had the ball in his hands a lot in his final year of the collegiate level, but he produced more often than not. And with that being the case, he figures to be more of a point forward rather than point guard at the NBA level, but this could be a good thing for a Cavaliers team that doesn't have any forward outside of maybe Max Strus, who finished with 4 assists per game this season, who can operate the offense for stretches. He would immediately become their second best option in that regard. Of all the tools that Jaylon Tyson has in the proverbial shed, the one that honestly impresses me the most is the rebounding he brings to the table. He is as active as they come on the glass and is constantly and pretty consistently crashing the glass. He is more than willing to put a body on an opponent, and as such, his 6.8 rebounds per game ranks 7th in the Pac-12. He would also finish ranked within the top 20 in both offensive and defensive boards. This is something the Cavs need pretty dearly. I mean, don't get me wrong, Max Strus is a solid rebounder in his own right. Ditto for Donovan Mitchell, who just finished the 2023-24 season, averaging a career best 5.1 rebounds. But outside of those two, Cleveland really doesn't have a guard or a wing they can trust to box out consistently on the glass. On the other end of the court, I wouldn't necessarily categorize Tyson as a defensive stopper, but he does in fact profile as a versatile defender who should be able to log minutes defending multiple positions on the ball, which does inherently give him value in defensive schemes that are switch heavy. At the NBA's draft combine, he was classified as a small forward and officially checked in at 6'5.5" without shoes and weighed in at just over 218.2 pounds, making him one of the smaller forwards of the class while also simultaneously being one of the bulkier ones, ranking just behind Illinois' Terrence Shannon Jr. in this regard. This bodes well for his potential switchability at the pro level. When operating off the ball as a team defender, he tends to keep his head on a swivel, putting his 6'8" wingspan to work as he plays the passing lanes. Tyson is also a definitive threat to pile up weak side blocks and deflections. He is quite adept at swiping the ball away from the opposition, as his 1.2 steals per game ranks 16th in the Pac-12 this year. Tyson's current areas of growth are pretty easy to notice in my opinion. As mentioned before, he tends to commit reckless turnovers by attempting far too many difficult passes, which has led to him racking up the Pac-12's second most turnovers, handing the ball over a staggering 96 total times this season. I think he can struggle at times with decision making, but honestly, he wouldn't necessarily be asked to do too much at the next level if drafted by Cleveland, but nevertheless, it's still an area of growth for him. Also, while Tyson does display solid lateral quickness on the perimeter and vertical athleticism near the rim, he does kind of lack an explosive first step, which could render him susceptible to defenders stripping the ball away from him at the next level. He will be far from the fastest wing in this draft class, and as such does not possess the blow-by speed that some of his peers do. It is also worth noting that he was the offensive engine for California this year, and by virtue of that, he took the bulk of the shots. He was the conference leader in 2-point field goal attempts with 338 on the year. If drafted, he would most likely be thrown into an off-ball role, likely reducing his volume. I have confidence that he could excel at this, but nevertheless, it would be a huge adjustment for him to make. Overall, I think Jaylon Tyson makes a lot, and I mean a lot, of sense for the Cavaliers due to his offensive and defensive versatility. The former Golden Bear could slide into the rotation right away and provide floor balance, spacing, and give them another reliable ball handler. He isn't a perfect or can't miss prospect by any means, as no prospect really is. But he will certainly check a few boxes for this Cleveland team and is capable of being a day one contributor. There are a number of dominoes that must fall, but no matter which direction this team decides to go in with its current core or head coach, selecting Tyson would be a great decision either way. Time will tell. Go Cavs.